welcome to the Tutors of Life podcast, where we research life so you don't have to. Episode 299. This is your host, Shaun Tutor.
And this is Sam. And this is a Tutor episode where we try to teach you something new.
I got some sun on my legs today.
You got burnt on your legs today.
Yeah, I just noticed that. Oh, wow. That's why my legs feel the way they do.
Yeah. I'm shocked we didn't get sunburned yesterday.
Damn, dude. That's red.
Yeah.
No sunscreen. 5 hours in the sun.
See how you feel tomorrow. You could put aloe on tonight if you wanted.
We're def doing aloe. Doesn't feel bad, though. Just feels a little warm. Oh, my forehead's a little warm, too. But I was wearing my bucket hat half the day.
Shaun was fishing.
Fishing. Kayak fishing.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of fun.
That's good.
Not as fun as standing in a boat.
Yeah.
But kayaking was a good exercise.
Yeah, good workout.
I think canoe would be primo.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could stand up and do a little more in a canoe.
Yeah. You can stand up in a canoe.
Why not? I would think you could stand up in a canoe better than a kayak.
Well, obviously, but I don't think it's a high percentage that you can stand in a canoe, though.
In a canoe, I feel like you're more one with nature.
Yeah.
Brody and I have canoed before.
Did you stand?
I don't remember.
Anyways.
All right. What are we talking about? It's your idea?
Or we actually... You told me you had better ideas.
No, that's part of the idea.
Oh, okay, cool. Making things a priority. I wanted to figure out how I wanted to phrase it, and then there was a little bit of suspense there because people had to wait. But yeah, making things a priority, because if you make it a priority, then you'll actually do it.
Yeah. And
it was funny because I literally just told Shaun this 2 hours ago when we were like, what should we talk about? Tutor about. And then he goes, I have been so good with not eating allergens this week. He said, because I put it on my priorities list.
Not this week.
This week. Weekend? Today?
No, this week was shit. That's why I was so good for my 3-month span, where I was like a literal god for 3 months.
That makes sense.
Where like I got the most chiseled I've ever been in my life.
I was really confused when you walked in here. You said this week, and I was just like, you weren't good this week though. But
I was shit. No, yeah. For like that 3-month span, it was on it, and that's why. Because when I had the opportunity to do it, I was like, that'll cause me to lose the day. Moving on.
But like, meal prepping is such a high priority for us now, and it has been for a while, and we never miss a meal prep day.
Right.
Especially like, it's really helpful to actually motivate us to do it because Mimi has a set amount of meals, so when she runs out of meals, we like actually have to meal prep.
Oh, dude, you know what? Our priority is Mimi. We make sure she's fed. That's why we never not meal prep now.
Valid.
Damn.
But lately on both of our priority lists, we haven't been putting blogging. And if you guys follow our website at all, I don't think we've posted since March.
You'll know we haven't blogged in a while.
Yeah. And I keep telling myself it's a priority to get back into it and to post on social media, but I haven't like truly like told myself like, no, like I have to do it. This is a huge priority, blah, blah, blah. And put it on my priorities list in my planner. Like I haven't done that, so it is my fault because I haven't made it an actual priority to me. Right. So yeah, I know that if you are a person that is like struggling to have motivation to accomplish things or to just accomplish anything in general, you need to like tell yourself and make it a priority in your life. You have to make it important, whether it's tying something to it. So, like, my importance in my, like, I do win the day, which Andy Frisell talks about on episode 16 of the Real AF podcast. I recommend listening to it. It's, win the day. And so it's 5 priorities. You do them every day, and your goal is to win the majority of days. If you win more days than you lose in the week, you win the week. If you win more days in the month than you lose, you win the month. If you win more days than you
lost in the year, you win the year. You stack enough wins in enough years, and your life is guaranteed to be a win.
Yeah. And we've talked about it, like, we used to interpret differently winning the day, and then we, like, listened to the episode, and we're like, oh, he's more talking about habits, but then recently he's talked about just, like, tasks almost.
Yep. Which I think they could be both, right? Like habits and whatever. And I think it's a good thing to put on until it becomes a habit.
I think it's good to have both. Right, like to not just have it be 5 different tasks every day.
Right.
I think it's good to have a very good mixture of like 2 or 3 habits and then 2 or 3 tasks.
Because I know that, like, what is it? So when I first started cold showers, it was on my priority list.
Yeah.
I haven't missed, and it hasn't been on my priority list in months.
Because
months and months.
You just do it now. It's just a habit.
Every single day. I've never missed a day since October 28th. Never. And so that was just like a habit that was on there. And then after a while, I was like, yeah, I'm removing this because I do it every day regardless. And there's other things like read 10 pages. I miss some days, but minimal.
Yeah.
So that's no longer on my to-do list because it's like, yeah, I do it every single day. I wake up at 5:30, I shower, read. That's it.
And it's actually kind of interesting because I think Shaun and I don't communicate enough when we do our priority list for the day, because a lot of times I'll make mine, Shaun will make his, and they'll kind of...
Now that we work together, they don't... it's important they mesh.
Yeah.
And a lot of
like,
times they ain't meshing.
Yeah, because like last week, one of Shaun's tasks was to start painting or something.
Right.
And mine was a whole bunch of computer stuff. Well, I can't help paint if I'm doing a whole bunch of computer stuff.
Right.
So we got to get better on communicating with that stuff. But
if you got up with me in the morning, we could do it together.
Do you want me to...
I told you to sleep more. I know. Shut up.
So, but it would be interesting because, like, if we want to be, like, more disciplined but not do 75 hard, like, we can just put on a couple of the days, like, do 75 hard tasks. Could be one of our habits.
Right.
Just to, like, throw in there every once in a while.
Sure.
Just so we're, like, doing a little bit extra. So, like, doing a 45-minute walk.
Right.
Instead of not doing a walk at all.
Right.
But that is, like, something, like, I just thought about that. Like, we could just do that every once in a while. Just have that on our lists.
Right. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can add on there to do more shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you have to find what's important to you, right? So whatever you deem important, then you have to tie, like, whatever you want to it. So Ed Milet talks about he didn't take his health seriously.
Yeah.
Eat whatever he want, blast gear, whatever. And then he had a heart attack, and his doctor asked him, hey, do you want another man to walk your daughter down the aisle at her wedding day? And he's like, what the fuck? And then from that point on, he changed and made health like the most important thing because it was tied to his daughter. And so he's like, yeah, I don't want another man walking my daughter down the aisle on her wedding day. And so he tied health to that, you know. And then like, now it's been such a big part of his life for so many years that, like, after his daughter gets married, he's going to keep being healthy, right?
Yeah. What's the number one thing people wish for on their deathbed? Do you remember this?
Health.
Better health.
Yeah.
So, like, that's just telling you guys, like, don't wait until it's too late to be like, oh, I should have made my health a priority. I should have made my family a priority. I should have made these things a priority.
Right.
Like, you can do it now. And by adding by having 5 priorities you need to do in a day, and then tying it to winning the day, because everybody loves the sound of, I won the day.
Right. Right.
Then it makes it click in your head so much easier to be like, I have to do this today because I need to win the day.
Right.
And the one thing I do like about, like, then compounding it to, if you win more days than you lose in a week, then you win the week. If you win more days in a month than you lose, then you win the month.
Right.
I like that because so many people, when you fall off the track for one day, then they're just like, well, I fucked up today. Not like, now it's just over. I'm just done. Mm-hmm. But like in a week, you only need to win 4 out of the 7 days to win the week.
Right.
So it's just so much easier, I think, for us to like
course correct.
Right, course correct, because you're just like, okay, I lost one day, I can lose 2 more days. Mm-hmm. So like, I'm gonna get after it tomorrow, so I can win this week.
Right.
And that's why I really do like that whole concept.
Yeah, I took an so I have a sheet with every day for the whole year, and I scribble it in if I won or exit if I lost.
I saw yours recently. I haven't been doing priority lists, and I really should, and I'm gonna start.
Bro, I've been living this life.
I made these beautiful sheets for Shaun and I for the year too, because I was like, I'm gonna start doing this, and then.
I've been living this shit for over a year and a half now.
I think almost 2 years, dude.
We're coming up on 2 years.
Yeah.
And I have definitely won more, and I lost. Even like, so when we're on vacation, like I just put like
a dash.
Like I didn't do that because I was on vacation. But even if I have to count the vacation days as losses, I still win.
Yeah.
I'm still up. It doesn't matter. 10 days on vacation, doesn't matter. I'm still up.
Yeah, because if you take well, I guess our vacation too, it was at the end of a month and the beginning of the next month. So, I mean, you just know before going into that vacation, right? So.
Dude, I wasn't missing before that vacation.
Right, because I think we had, 7 days of April we were gone?
Yeah.
The 24th through the 31st or 30th? I don't know how many days are in a month, Shaun does, though.
Oh, which day?
April?
April's 30.
Okay, so that would have been 6 days?
Yeah.
I guess actually 7 if you actually physically count the 24th.
Sure.
So you knew before...
I did tasks on the 24th, I think. Maybe not. Anyways, keep going.
You knew before... Yes, you did, but besides the point. You knew before we left on our trip, like, okay, I'm gonna not participate for 7 days.
Right.
So that means I can only lose 8 days before our trip. Like, you can just so easily calculate that out. Like, okay, like, I have to win my 15 days before our trip even happens.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So, yeah, I just think it's just such an easy and good motivator. I love it. It's such a simple concept.
Yeah, I just try to win them all. I try to win most days, yeah.
Yeah, obvi.
So, yeah, you got to find something that's important to you. That can be tough. But yeah, you just have to, I mean, it could tie into your vision and shit, but really you just have to figure out why you live. Mm-hmm. That's it. And then tie into it. So, importance, priorities, that's it. That's how we live life. That's the only way we do shit. Yeah. Podcast is like not a priority anymore. Meal prep, not. Like, so when we say this, like, it's priorities, but it doesn't need to be on the win list.
Yeah, we've been doing them for so long.
It's not. It's a habit we formed. Yeah. So they say, Jesse Itzler, whatever. And a lot of other people say this. And if you follow the traction model, and I think it's your rocks. But anyways, what it is you're trying to build one new habit a quarter. Mm-hmm. So if you can build one new habit a quarter, the amount you increase your capacity by the end of the year, and then by the end of a decade is insane.
Yeah, I mean, every quarter you gain a new habit, so that's 4 habits a year you're gaining. Mm-hmm. And then a decade, that's 40.
Right. It's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, those can't be daily habits necessarily, because if you have 40 daily habits, you're going to be not getting anything accomplished.
Mm-hmm. But we've always talked about, too, you can just, like, level up habits.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yep. Get more strict with them and shit.
Yeah.
All right, so with that, there's a level of inefficiency. Okay? So everything we do, and this, I got this out of the book we're reading, but Ryan brought it up to me yesterday, I think, as well, is like, oh, and Logan Rankin said it on IG yesterday or something. Anyways, it's better to have 70% of the knowledge than 95, because if you wait until 95, you're like not in the game. And so, and that's what we talk about that on here, like get education and then do, then act. And that's the biggest thing with like Wisco, real estate investing, business, everything. You need to get information and then you need to act. And so with like Stable Living, when we started that, we Googled, got information, and then acted.
Yeah.
And when we're sitting there getting licensed and they go, hey, do you have an ISP? We go, what's that? And they're like, what the hell? And we're like, yeah, just tell us, we'll just make it, we'll figure it out. And then so boom, made one. And so like, but we wouldn't have known. And if we had waited to have all of our questions answered before we got there, we would have never got to the licensing table.
Yeah.
And so, and that's the same way with like construction, everything like that. Go with the information you have, act, course correct. And so everything has a level of inefficiency, and you have to decide once you're doing that, the level that you can handle. Okay? So like and it goes into like differences in people too, right? So let's say let's say you have an employee, right? And you go, hey employee, this is how we do things, right? So this is the way we do it. But they do it their own way and still get the same result. Is it worth being like, nope, you're fired? Or are you able to tolerate that little difference, that little inefficiency, and go, well, we get the same result, it's in the same time, he just uses his method, okay, right? Now the other part of that is he does his own way, it takes twice as long, and he says your way's stupid. Okay? So, okay, well, you're costing me a lot of money now because you're not listening to me. So am I willing to have my business spend twice the money for something because someone wants to do it their own way? Well, that doesn't make sense. So I'm going to get rid of them. Yeah. Right? And so that's like the same thing. They talk about that with like partners and employees and contractor, everything, right? Is what is there's a certain term, but like, what's your capacity to handle it? Yeah. And how much level of error will we allow? You know? Yeah. Because once they reach a certain amount, it's like, okay, this costs the company too much money, it's too much headache, things aren't getting done on time, whatever. Get rid of it. Yeah. But there's other things like, well, this guy likes to show up at 9, but he works through lunch or whatever, right? Like there's different ways to like look at shit. Yeah. And then what you're willing to accept versus the like pain it causes. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I've had some issues with that in the past of like I like never cared if like some of my people like showed up at 7:30 instead of 7, but they worked until 4 instead of 3:30. Right. So I'm like, they're getting the same amount of hours. Like, it doesn't matter to me. And like, especially in like different places I've worked, like, everyone always says like you're a team and the team's got to work together, but so many places I've been, you're never fully with the team ever. Right. Like, your team's a team, but just because one person's not there for half an hour or an hour compared to everyone else, it doesn't matter. Right. But I've worked with some other managers that like really cared about that, and were just like, no, they have to be here at the exact same time as the rest of the team. It's like, but you don't actually do anything together during the day.
It's a standard they want to hold, which I understand, like standards and stuff. But I think it really it depends on what you can handle as a leader.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. I think flexibility can be given to good employees.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, back to the level of inefficiency, like we'll just do like meal prep, for example. We know we got to get meal prep done Sunday. Mm-hmm. We usually do it in the morning.
Yeah.
But today I wanted to go fishing. And so we did it an hour ago at 6 p.m. And so it's like that is definitely not as efficient as starting it at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
But
it still only took us an hour.
And we just adapted to what we were doing for the day.
Mm.
So that's just the level.
Also, I just realized I worked at jobs that it wasn't like one person was on shift and like replacing someone else.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's the bartenders, servers, shift work. That's all different.
Yeah. That's completely different than what I'm talking about. Like, anyways, like factory work is, you can kind of give some leniency, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, cool. You got more?
21 minutes. No. Honestly, that's it.
Yeah. You just have to give it importance. Give it a priority. Make it a priority. And, like, truly, like, make yourself believe it is a priority.
Yeah, that it's important. Because if you don't believe in what you're doing, because you have, like, before you can convince someone else, you have to convince yourself. If you listen to the best salesman in the world, they have to believe in their product, buy their product, everything like that in order for them to sell the product. Mm-hmm. It's like, if you're selling supplements, I've actually talked to some friends about this. If you're selling supplements, you need to take those supplements to be able to give your testimony and support. Mm-hmm. And so if you're selling, some supplements that you don't like, you might have to discontinue them or start selling a line that you do like. So you can say, hey, this is my favorite one. I've had great results on it. Whatever, this is another product I personally don't care for, but, I mean, a lot of people do, And
Yankee Candle, man.
That's it.
I worked at Yankee Candle. I had to know that our products were good.
Fucking A. Yeah, so Sam bought Yankee Candles. Yeah, you're right.
You only got like 100 of them.
Right. Uh-huh. Yeah, you've been hoarding your whole life.
Anyways,
yeah, priorities.
Mm-hmm.
And so attach it to yourself, your meaning, believe in it, and then act. There will be a level of inefficiency. Do research so you have a general idea, but if you don't get started, you're not going to make any progress. And that's everything I've ever done. I just jumped in, figured it out, and I go, oh, that ain't so bad. Like, without me ever having done this before, we had a building that was rotted. The whole exterior wall was rotted.
Yeah.
So I asked a couple construction guys, I'm like, hey, what should I do? They're like, okay, make sure you get your temp wall up and then tear everything off, assess, and just rebuild. And I was like, done.
Cool.
And so that's exactly what I did. Boom. Put up the temp wall, tore everything off, go, fuck. Tarp it off for the day, go get all the material for the next day, open it back up, rebuild the whole thing, sheet it, done.
Yeah. And
it was like, if I didn't just get into it and do it, I would have never done it. Mm-hmm. I would have just like put it off till I hired someone.
Yeah.
And instead I was just like, no, I'm going to just do it. And then bam.
And that's what,
it wasn't that bad.
Actually, speaking of, right now our yard is a forest of weeds. All weeds. So now it's actually like, today I walked out there and I was doing some work and it was just so awful to look at. And I was just like, okay, Shaun, like, this is a priority now. Like, we are going to start reseeding our yard because it is, it's really fucked. And I think that's going to be affecting Mimi's allergies more than anything else. And as we already talked about, Mimi's a priority in our lives.
That's true.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, it does, dude. When you think about it, when you look at our neighbors' yards, some of them that have like the irrigation systems and everything, Dude, you can't tell me that don't bring the value up on the house.
100%.
Bro, that shit compared to ours looks... I don't want to know their water bill. Their water bill has to be fucked. But damn, does it look good. Mm-hmm. It looks ridiculous. Yeah. I want to lay in their grass.
100%.
They also don't have acres. They have like 0.25 acres.
Yeah. But I will say, like right now, like I don't even want to sit on our back patio because it just... I can't look at the yard.
Oh, right. Yeah. Damn. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's what I got last thing. Phil told Keaton told me, what if your anxiety is just conspiracy theories you told yourself?
So, like, you being afraid of heights.
Yep.
So that's just a conspiracy theory that you told yourself?
Right.
And now it causes you anxiety?
Exactly.
Makes 100% sense.
It makes all the sense in the world. Mm-hmm. Every single thing we do. That's exactly like I talked to Kyle about this today. People are afraid of what other people will think of them. People will live their whole life on the sidelines. They will be miserable their whole life because they are afraid of what other people will think of them instead of doing what truly makes them happy. And it's the same thing with like what I just said. People will tell themselves these things like, oh, it's really going to matter what my friend thinks of me. Mm-hmm. It's really going to matter what these random strangers are going to think of me, right? It's like, no, actually, none of that fucking matters.
It is interesting how much, how much our fear of other people's opinions are, affect our lives. Right. It is wild.
Wild. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's crazy.
It is.
Instead, you could just be happy and do what you want to do. Mm-hmm. As long as it's, morally right, good living, do what you want to do. Do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
So.
Because what is it? People that are truly happy don't have to do... What is it? Oh, I just read something. I don't remember. I'll let you know on Friday if I remember.
I know it's super funny. Earlier when you were talking about priorities and you said the first thing that people wish they had on their deathbed was health, mm-hmm. I was like, man, the three things that Brad Lee always talks about, the three most important things in this order. Mm-hmm. Health, relationships, money. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh man, I wonder, that's such a good one. That's exactly right. And then I'm like, damn. So I was just sitting here, when you were talking about that, I was just thinking about that. Health, absolutely. He talks about it. When you're on your deathbed, you care. The only thing you care about is your health. Second thing you care about is your relationships. How much time did I spend with people? Did I spend enough time with people? Did I do wrong to people, etc.? And then the third is money. Mm-hmm. Did I, provide for the family, make enough money, enjoy life? Because with money, you can do more things, have better relationships, have better health, right? Mm-hmm. Boom. And then I look down, dude. Health, relationships, money.
Is that an old Post-it note?
Yeah, this has been here for a year.
Wow. That's awesome.
That's kind of cool. I don't know if it's actually been there for a year, but that's so cool that that's on there.
I will say, if we continue to make, Mimi's life a priority like we have been, and, Shaun and I spend a lot of time with Mimi, and, we will change our schedules to accommodate for Mimi. Mm-hmm. If we keep up the amount of, time and, care we put into Mimi, I don't, it's gonna suck when she passes.
Right.
But also, I'll be happy knowing that, we spent so much time with her and she had, such a great life.
100%. 100%. It's hard to be, you can be sad and mourn, but you can't be upset when it happens because you did everything you could. Mm-hmm. At least to the best of your ability,
Right. And I just think that's, so much easier to, let a dog go when, knowing I have spent... as much time as I, could.
Knowing they had a great life.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, absolutely.
Makes me happy.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's what I got for you.
All right, sweet. Thanks for tuning in, gang, and we'll catch you on Friday.
See ya.